How did American slavery differ from earlier slave societies in other parts of the world?
Slavery in the New World, including the United States, in the U.S. and Brazil, the Caribbean, was quite different from slavery as it had existed in other periods of history. Slavery, sad to say, has always existed in human history. There is even slavery today, apparently, in some parts of the world. Slavery traditionally had been basically a household institution. That is, the average owner would have one or two slaves, would work in the home or maybe in the fields with the owner. And very often there was very little physical difference between slave. In Africa there was slavery, but there was no physical difference. They were all Africans. In the Roman Empire, white people were slaves in the Roman Empire. But in the United States, slavery had two characteristics which made it very different. One, it was plantation slavery. It was based on a large-scale agricultural unit producing goods for the world market. That meant that in the slave areas, the slaves greatly outnumbered the whites, and therefore the rigidity of the system, the policing of the system, had to be extremely severe. The danger of revolt was always there. Secondly, slavery in the Western Hemisphere was racial slavery. There was this physical difference between master and slave. Race and slavery come to reinforce each other. Slavery helps to promote this racist ideology which justifies it. So therefore the black person always bears on his self the mark of slavery. Even when they become free, they still carry the mark of slavery. In the Roman Empire, when a slave became free, they just melt into the society. You don't know who's an ex-slave. In Africa, a slave could marry into a free society and become free, and they don't look any different from anyone else. But in the United States, prejudice against blacks is the carryover of the prejudice of slavery, and it exists long after slavery, of course, is abolished.